In this episode of Desert Lore, I am crossing the White Desert of Utah near the Book Cliffs to visit a geyser in the middle of the desert. Unlike other geysers that are heated by underground lava, this is a rare cold water geyser fueled by deposits of CO2. It is quite literally a soda pop geyser. Because this geyser erupts sporadically, I don't anticipate I will see it go off. But that's okay, because I am far more interested in seeing the elaborate travertine ridges and the brilliant mineral deposits leaving vibrant colors. This site is amazing, as it looks exactly like Yellowstone, but the water is ice cold and you can dip your feet in it. Join me as we explore this breathtakingly beautiful site. Hello everybody, Ben Woodruff here, and on today's episode, we're going out and we're seeing a geyser. I'm really excited about this. The odds are we're not gonna catch the geyser going off, but I'm even more excited just to be at this site for the first time because of the travertine ridges and the colors. So this has a really interesting bit of history. So we're on the Green River. Now the Green River, it's a pretty wild river. It eventually, feeds into the Colorado, and it gets you get into this whole area. These rivers are huge for the West. For the American Southwest, these are massive rivers. And exploring them, they get into these amazing cataract canyons, and it's really hard to pass. Now, it's interesting, we just had some huge motorboat just go past, and it's amazing to think about now that we can traverse in these areas, and these areas are all mapped out. Didn't used to be that way. Now, in 1869, John Wesley Powell, who was a famous military man, he had his arm blown off in one of the wars. He was out here in 1869 with an expedition, and they were doing this river with wooden boats, like rowboats. And there's the whole story you should look up. I should do a video just on the John Wesley Powell expedition. It's pretty incredible. But coming past this site where we're at right now, in 1869, John Wesley Powell noted this site where we're going at. He noticed the mineral formations, and he noted that something was different. It looked like there was some sort of a spring or some sort of an ancient geyser that had stopped. So he made note of it. Now later on in 1936, there was a man who he thought, well, hey, these are some unique minerals. A lot of times when you have unique mineral formations, that can be signs of oil underneath. So he drilled a speculative hole down below to try to find oil. But there wasn't any oil, and instead what he hit was soda, as in soda pop. There was a big, huge reservoir underground, and it's still there today, of CO2 that's built up from ancient times. And when it hits that water, it makes a geyser. So it started erupting 100, 150 feet up in the air. It's like, well, I guess I'll just leave this here. I'm not drilling any further. And ever since then, this has gone off. Now, for years it would go up, and it was very predictable. Now it usually goes off 2 times a day. I'm not expecting that we're gonna see it go off, but I want to see the travertine ridges, because you see, all throughout the world, travertine is a calcium carbonate formation. When you have capillary action forming, it forms some amazing things. So I'm even going to show you, a clip of a piece of travertine that formed up underground. It's a piece of tufa or travertine that formed underground. So caves form travertine because you have calcium carbonate dissolving. You have tufa forming you have freshwater springs bubbling up, and you have capillary action making these things happen. When you have geysers like in Yellowstone, hot geysers that are formed by geothermal activity underground, heating water up and bubbling up, and then dispersing minerals, making colors, making these beautiful patterns. It's really cool. Even the cenotes in Mexico and in Central America that are beautiful, all around the world, people's ancient times view any of these these areas as a gateway to the underworld. That it's a vector point between the world of the living and the world of the dead. And a lot of times ceremonies were held at these places. A lot of times ancient rituals were had. And so these places are often considered sacred. We have no history of this being a sacred site, because we know in historical times and in recent human history, this geyser was not a geyser. We know in prehistoric times it was. This geyser used to erupt, and it deposited what was found by John Wesley Powell, but it had stopped up. Enough calcium carbonate had deposited that it was solid. But when that speculative prospector drilled down, it opened it up again. And so now we do have an active geyser. The strange thing about this geyser, it is a cold water geyser. Very unusual. So it's cold water, and when the CO2 bubbles up, It's literally bubbling up soda. It's probably not safe to drink, but you could take that water, add a little bit of sugar, and you would literally have soda pop. So it's cold water geyser, but what we want to see is the beautiful, colorful travertine ridges that are here, because that's what excites me. On the ride up here, we saw a place that where you have, this is about 100 miles back on the road, but another place where you have a travertine ridge that's formed out, and it's the same exact thing. And it's interesting because this year, this spring, there was a huge landslide and somebody caught it on their dash cam. So I'm gonna hope I can get a clip of it and showing it, but where like a bunch of trees and part of the mountain just whoop, went down, because you have underground capillary action of water seeping through and then whoop, pushing it along. So these things happen all over the place, but it takes something, again, like a person drilling down in order to have it be an active geyser. And then it will refill again, something will open up again, it'll refill again. So we're gonna go, let's go take a look at these beautiful colors and these beautiful travertine ridges, and maybe we'll get lucky and maybe we'll see the geyser shooting off. So from you can see from here, this landscape, it's pretty harsh. It's pretty tan, dry. And then you have the green along the river, right? And I'm gonna go up and show in just a sec. Okay, and then you got, a little bit of red rock here. But what's really amazing is then, blam, you have this rich color from these glorious minerals that bubbled up from underground. We're gonna go see this up close, but we're also gonna get some drone shots. But again, this stands out so starkly compared to everything else. It's pretty incredible. Just like Yellowstone. God, just seeing those ridges, so cool. Such an array of color. Now these ridges right here, if you were to open these up, these form exactly like geyserite, and you can just see the layers built up. I'm gonna try. You know what? I'm gonna put some pictures of geyserite. I've got a couple pieces of geyserite, which is pretty rare to have. But this is cold water geyserite instead of warm water geyserite. Again, look at these bands. Look at these ridges. Just think about all the different minerals in here, bubbling up from the earth. All right, we gotta go see this. Okay, so this is kind of interesting. You remember how I said these places are like a vector between the realm of the living and the realm of the dead, right? Well, let's look over here, and you can see this white, where the plants cannot properly grow and photosynthesize. I hope you can see that, the bottom of the plants. You can kind of see that here too on these plants, these crusts of minerals coming up from underground, and they cannot properly grow down by the bottom, only the upper surfaces. So again, where you touch the balance between the realm of life and death, different things happen. God, look at these colors. It's so intense. You can smell the sulfur, which I was assuming that most of this would have been iron oxides coming up from the surface, but you can smell the sulfur that has come up. This is just like Yellowstone. It smells like Yellowstone. This looks like if I stepped in it, it would burn me to death. It literally does. This literally looks like you're in Yellowstone, and it smells like you were in Yellowstone. Now this pipe over here we're gonna go to, this is the geyser itself. When it goes off, you can't see that pipe, but that was just where it was drilled, and that's where it erupts from. Maybe we'll get lucky and we'll see it erupt, probably not. I'll try to put some photos and videos of other times. But really what I wanted to see is the travertine ridges, but especially if you look right here, this I'm really freaking out about. And I don't think anybody has ever done a study on this. Right here,
you can see there's sort of a film over these little pools. It looks to me like there are cyanobacteria in there. Now, I've done a lot of videos talking about cyanobacteria both in cryptobiotic sand and in stromatolites. But cyanobacteria is an extremophile. It's a life form that lives under very extreme environments. And Yellowstone is one of the only places in the world where you also find a range of brightly colorful cyanobacteria. And from here, I don't know if you can see it, but I see that telltale red and that film left up above. And it looks to me like there's photosynthesis going on from cyanobacteria. So we're gonna get some drone shots of this, but I want you to just, these patterns are so beautiful. These humans love patterns, and these concentric colors and patterns are just absolutely breathtaking. It's so beautiful. This is going to be insane when we get shots from the drone. What's kind of unnerving, I just went and checked this sign. I wanted to be sure. You can walk on this, but try not to walk on anything that has a ridge. But there's all these cobbles, but it's kind of unnerving. You probably can't hear it, but you can hear that it's hollow underneath. You can hear that it's got a honeycomb pattern when you walk on this. It just looks like it's on another planet. Look at all these cobbles that have come up. Here's where the water comes up. Let's go take a look at that. Oh, it's foaming. It's bubbling. Hope you can hear that. I'm gonna put my microphone and take my mic off and put it down. Don't fall in. Hopefully you can hear that fizzing. It sounds like you just opened a can of soda pop, because that's literally what it is. This water is cold. This is pleasantly cold. But I'm noticing, if you see, there is like a, that's a different type. That's a cyanobacteria. If you see, it's like a webbing, some sort of a webbing. So the cyanobacteria in there is forming a structure. And it's very similar to the prehistoric algal mats, the ancient, yeah, it's all along here. I'm gonna be careful, I don't wanna step on any of it. It's a delicate ecosystem. I've never heard anybody talk about this. I just heard that it was just a geyser, but these, I mean, I guess technically these webs would be a type of stromatolite. They're not laying down calcium. Oh, so in caves, there is a type of extremophile that feeds off of sorry, I'm just so excited about this. It feeds off of chemicals instead of biological matter, and they're an extremophile, but they're instead of being photosynthetic, they're chemosynthetic, and they have the glorious name snotites because they look like snot. They form in caves like Luchagea Cave in New Mexico, but it looks exactly like these. And I wonder if that's what these are. Technically, a type of snotite. But so maybe they're not a type of stromatolite, but maybe they're a type of snotite. But good heavens, look at this color. These colors are so rich. If you look here, this is a prehistoric piece. I know I'm using that term loosely, but again, you have all the different types of cave formations. That over there, very similar to cave popcorn. These are basically types of cave formations on land. You never hear anything about this place. It's called Crystal Geyser. I don't normally tell my spots, but this is Crystal Geyser in Utah. Look at that color. It's an absolute riot of color. Okay, so this, my gimbal's acting up, and it's like 1,000,000 degrees out here. But this color is just, it's otherworldly. And I hope I can pick this up. Let me turn the screen around on my camera there. Hot enough that my brain isn't working, but this is just so beautiful. In a lot of my videos, I talk about beauty a lot. And I do it for a reason, because there's so much ugliness in the world right now. People are so bitter and they only see the ugliness of the world. Like, this is a natural wonder. Just getting splashed with this much color in the natural world. I mean, how can that not lift your soul a little? The world is a beautiful place. This is one of the driest deserts in the American West. And we have the Green River living up to its name, bright, vibrant green with willows and tamarasks all along the sides with vibrant green. And then you have this rich color along here. Let's go look at some of these bigger travertine ridges. There's so much I want you to see. We'll do drone shots in a minute. When I show you the drone shots, you just, look at that. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm taking off my mic. I'm holding the mic by the ground and listen. I hope you can hear it. Again, these things are hollow. There we go. Hope you can hear that. But again, just absolutely amazing. Feel like we had it parked over there at a guy with a motorhome. So you can make it to the spot with a motorhome. But look at these ridges. Look how breathtakingly, strikingly beautiful this is. Nobody's here. This is not a national park. It's not a national monument. Look, oh, jeez. Look at this color. This is unreal. This is absolutely breathtaking. I mean, this is literally a riot of color. Again, I don't normally mention the names of the places, but this is out of the way enough. Crystal Geyser. Check it out. I mean, good heavens. This is just so breathtakingly beautiful. And it's just like out of a fairy world of some kind. It really is. It's so bright here right now. I can't even see the screen, so hopefully, I think I'm on this. Hopefully you can see this behind. It's just like natural steps form. Again, it's just like some magical fairy realm. It's so breathtakingly beautiful. And this is kind of what I want to convey on these videos. I'd like to teach, help people understand how the world works, but I'd also like people to understand just how beautiful this world is. You're always going to find ugliness everywhere, but there's so much beauty in the world as well. Again, this much color, what a gift is it that we can see color. The bulk of animals cannot. And by a twist of fate, we can. We can see this rich, bright color. Your dog can't see this. You bring your dog here, they don't see any of this color. It's just all black and white and gray. And we can see this rich, vibrant, exciting, uplifting, beautiful color. And what a treat it is to have vision at all and to have color vision. I'm in awe. This place, and again, the geyser isn't even going off, and I don't know if it's gonna go off while we're here, and I couldn't care less. Just seeing these active travertine ridges forming literal cave formations out in the open for all the world to see, incredible. Absolutely stunning. So I hope you're enjoying seeing these. I'm gonna get some drone shots because you can't do justice with it just on the ground level. Especially without a fisheye lens, you're just kind of bottled in. You're not seeing much of this. And hopefully with a drone shot, you can get some good understanding of how remarkable this place is. this site is incredible. Even without the geyser going off, it's so breathtaking and so geologically significant. This place has been here for millions of years, and then it got plugged up naturally. And then in human history, humans causing damage to the environment reopened it and made something that is once again beautiful. So I bring that up just because, you know, there's always a lot of nuance to how humans interact with the environment. Always is. And we don't like that. We like black and white. We like it to be just like, this is good, this is bad. But it's like, you know what? Everything impacts everything. On the one hand, you could say, well, what are you doing walking around here? You're damaging. We're very careful not to walk on any of the formations. But still, you could be like, humans shouldn't be allowed here at all. But at the same time, well, what is it? It's just a bunch of rocks and minerals. Shouldn't people be allowed to enjoy the beauty? So always remember, if you go to a place like this, be respectful. Don't graffiti. Be careful with where you step and be mindful of that so that you can enjoy the beauty and people in the future can enjoy the beauty as well. So I hope you enjoyed this little whirlwind quick tour of such an incredible, breathtaking site. I know I keep saying beautiful, color, breathtaking. I keep using these words over and over again, but again, unless you see it in person, there's no way to describe it. Again, having driven here with this stark, tan desert that's the color of the clothing I usually wear, and then to boom, suddenly have this rich color. It assaults the eyes and the senses in the best way possible. So that's what I want to encourage people to do, to get out and see the beauty of the world. So always remember that life is a gift. So never stop learning and never stop exploring. We'll see you next time.